Righteous Liberty TV, and I am Sefiyatu, otherwise known as Safrina Gordon, and also I'm known for my Sefi Fire show on Roots FM. Think It, Live It, Be It, and we've covered wonderful. I don't even know where to start. Okay, so we did a live broadcast last night at the Reggae in the Mountain concert at the Reggae Legend Villas, located on Skyline Drive in Kingston in the Mountains, and it was absolutely fantastic. I have to say, very, very grateful to be in the presence of legends such as Ken Booth, Big Yacht, Lee Scratch Perry, Pata Bantan, and the wonderful Alex Marley. Now, Alex Marley opened the show, and the rest followed, and it was just an amazing night. It was a really, really good turnout. I was going to say it was private, but it wasn't really private because it was open to the public. But the way the settings were was almost like a private kind of secluded event. It was very, very nice. The view was nice. The villas are absolutely gorgeous. I suggest you check it out. Thanking the wonderful legend Junior Reid that opened the premises to us, and just rising them up every time. It was an excellent night, and plenty of footage is available. I'm sure if you look via Pata Bantan's social media, or Ken Booth, or Big Ute, or Alex Marley, or Lee Scratch Perry, and also with us as well, Sunstar Connoisseurs, that is our group. So anything to do with Righteous Liberty TV, the Sefi Fire show, or any of my businesses, you will find it under Sunstar Connoisseurs, and you can find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and we're also on YouTube as well. We're taking our time to build that channel, but yeah, just kind of giving thanks and very grateful for the live broadcast for the Sefi Fire show at the Reggae in the Mountain concert last night. So I'm doing. Take this off. I'm doing a live broadcast today, just to give thanks. A few reasons, actually. So this is kind of like a multi broadcast today. A few reasons. The first reason is this: I just want to give thanks. I want to give thanks to the Most High. And I want to give thanks to the vessels, meaning the people that the Most High sends to help achieve our goals, and I just want to kind of send out appreciation for all the persons and vessels that assisted the Sefi Fire show broadcast to go live yesterday, and it was really, really good. It was, we did really, really well yesterday, and I'm just wanted to express thanks, really. So that's that. Okay, so I'm not talking about Sefi Fire show anymore. That was just a little snipping to say thank you and give thanks for us being able to broadcast yesterday, and just want to rise up all my sponsors that have enabled us to be out there in the streets, in the community, and to be reporting live on the Roots FM 96.1 show. I've got some, I won't say revelation, because I haven't held my weekly meditation yet. I mean, I hold a meditation every day, but as you know, I try to hold a weekly meditation, and I'll be going to the river tomorrow to hold my meditation. If I can, I'll try and record some of it. But there's some things I want to talk about. I want to talk about people, and I want to talk about people's attitude and mentality. And I want to, I'm not obviously going to mention names and things like that, because that's a mix up, and that, right? But I am going to talk about scenarios and experiences that I'm currently experiencing, or I had experienced, in order to portray the message or the point of what I'm trying to make at this time. Now, I don't know what it is with human beings. Okay, and I have to say it's human beings, because you see, persons that exist on a higher level and vibrate on a higher height don't have this mentality, and they don't think like this. It's more of a mundane trait. It's more of a mundane tradition. And what that's what I'm being led to believe, because I don't have it. It's not within me. So I have to put it down to the human being. Now, human beings have this trait where they don't see how they come across, or they're not aware of how they affect other people. And I try my best, I really do. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. Yeah, I'm not going to say that everything I do, I'm able to achieve it in the way I would have liked to achieve it. But I always have a good intention to care about somebody's feelings. You know, I try my best to, I know sometimes I can come across very assertive, which in turn can be, you know, rude or offensive. And if that is brought to my attention, I quite rightly, you know, rectify that, or I seek to learn how I can rectify that if it means that I'm hurting someone in the wrong way, or I'm making somebody feel away, right? What I'm learning, especially by working in the radio station in Jamaica now, working in the radio station in England is very different. In that people are just too busy. People are just too busy to kind of be on this kind of groupie effect. People in England, everyone's trying to chase money. Not to say no one's not chasing money here, because the work ethic here is a lot more advanced, I have to say. Yeah. But what my point of what I'm trying to make is that working at a radio station does not mean that every single event I can get you tickets. It doesn't mean that every single event I can get through. I'm just an average human being as well. Just because I work at a radio station doesn't mean that because I didn't invite you or put you on a guest list that I'm bad mind, I'm a rich, I'm a switch. Open your mind, my people. Okay? It's just a job. Just like you're working at a supermarket, or you might work behind the scenes at a television station, or you might work in the bank as a teller. It's the same thing. It's a job. Okay? That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say to my people, which is another human condition, is not everything you see is what it is. Okay? When you look at your brothers and your sisters, and you might see someone in a nice outfit, or you know, they might get dropped off in a nice car, or they might have a nice phone or a nice watch. Do you think you have the right to come to an entire conclusion about this individual's life and worth based on these items that you may see that the person may be representing temporarily? Do you think that you have the right to do that? I have to say, I've been guilty of doing the same thing in the past. You know, you see somebody drive a big car, they have money and they have a certain phone, you think people have a certain lifestyle, and that is not the case. Take the time to think about how hard it is for you to have to get up and go work every day. How hard it is for you to save, to maybe say you want to go Ochi, or you want to go down to St. Thomas for the weekend with the picnic them and the family. You know, everything is a process. Okay, unless you're a thief, which means that you go and you willingly, with intent and malice of forethought, go to steal other people's possessions in order for you to gain, then don't judge your brother and sister that is working hard just like you. It's not fair. Okay, and the reason why I have to reiterate this as well is because I'm seeing it as an epidemic amongst my people. And when I say amongst my people, I'm not specifying to those that possess melanin only, I'm specifying to the human race. When you see persons succeed, you don't know what they've been through. Everybody has a story. When you see people, you might see someone take a picture, or you might see someone saying, oh, you know, they're in Paris for the weekend. You don't know what sacrifices that person made to get to Paris for that weekend. You don't know what people are doing. Open your mind, human race. Okay, open your mind and free up yourself. In turn, you will get blessings. Okay, the reason why I'm communicating this again is because, you know, I'm not really a social person, even though I do have a social personality. And let me just break that down in what that means, is that I'm not a social person in the fact that I don't go out much. And it's not because I don't want to go out, just because the things that I like to enjoy don't seem to be accessible and seem to be available in a social capacity. Yeah. So for example, where I went last night in the live reggae concert, that is my type of thing. The persons that were there are my type of people. They vibrate on my type of mentality. We have the same vision. We have the same slogans, mottos, you know, we never give up, you know. I like to be surrounded by people like that. A lot of what's out there now is very mainstream, and what is mainstream is dance or alcohol and sex. And not to say that these things are negative, obviously everything is all good within balance, but me personally, I don't choose to enjoy myself by indulging in oversexed and over alcohol and too much dancehall, put it that way. And I love dancehall music. I do. If it's clean and it's righteous, me dip on it. Yeah. But the point of what I'm trying to make is that what you surround yourself around is what you are. Okay. And if you are around me, or you've been blessed enough to be in the presence of legends like Ken Booth and Big U and Lee Scratch Perry, you must can look within yourself to say, I must have a bit of legend in me. If I can be able to be within the same vibration and vibrate on the same frequency as these people, it's just a reflection of me. So when you look at I and I, Sefiato, Trina Gordon, or Sefi Fire, any way you want to look at me, I am a reflection of you. If you have been blessed to be in my presence, like I've been blessed to be in certain other people's presence, that is a reflection of me. So you don't have to look at me and hate me. You're looking at yourself and you're hating yourself. You're hating the part of yourself that you cannot see. And this is why I have to reiterate this, because a lot of this little hateration, yeah, it comes from the fact, my brothers and sisters, that you're not looking inside. You're not looking inside yourself to say, hold on, I can recognize that part of me in that person. I'm great like that. You know, I can write good. You know, I can speak well. You know, I've got a bit of swagger or whatever. But don't look at your brother and sister and judge them. I did a post about this the other day, and it seems to be getting more and more apparent in my reality that people don't really genuinely wish you well. And you do have people that do. Don't get me wrong, you've got a lot of people that do. And actually, no, you don't have a lot of people that do. They're very rare. I have to correct that. Because if I was to count persons on these two hands, how much people actually I feel and that have demonstrated to me that, listen, them want me for go far, they're the best for me, it would only probably be on one hand, which is sad. Because every single individual that I meet, whether my spirit take them or not, whether they're rude, whether I can't really work with freedom meditation, I always send out good blessings for people. Always. Or I will send out blessings so their mentality can rectify. But what I would never ever do, and I can say never with this, and they say never say never, but I can say never with this, is that I never ever look at my brother and sister and think, why? They not deserve that, you know. And one them get through. I mean, no one them boss. Where do you get this mentality? It's affecting our nation. It's affecting our race. You must learn to free up, look within yourself, and when you look at your brother and sister that are doing greatness, say, hey, that's like a part of me. I'm seeing a part of me being great. You know, everything out there in the outside world is a reflection of your inner world. And if you don't know that, then I don't know what you're doing on the earth, and you will have to come back to learn it again. We're all here to learn messages, and the messages that we are here to learn, you will have to come back and repeat them if you don't get them. And excuse me, when I say that, you must know that already, because sometimes you will live the same thing over and over and over again. All right, for example, relationships. I know there's many people out there that have been in the same relationship with different persons, or at least 3 times running. So you might, for example, from a female perspective, you might get a boyfriend. You know, you and the boyfriend's been dating for some time. You might have been with him 2 years, whatever. it didn't work out for whatever reasons. You know, he's got certain traits. You know, you weren't compatible, whatever. You find a next boyfriend, the same thing. It might not be exactly the same, but the similarities are there. Then you're done with him now. Then you find a next 3 man already, you know. Then you find a next boyfriend at the same thing again. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't learn your lesson, you will continue to live it. I'm not into this idiot thing with people. Okay? I try to be as honest as possible. And I've learned in life that honesty isn't always the best policy. Yes? But the fact of the matter is that that's what frees me up. If I feel a certain way about somebody, I have to say it. All right, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Okay? I had an interaction with an individual. The first time this individual, in my interpretation, was very rude. Now remember, you know, interpretation is only one-sided. You may interpret something that it wasn't intended for you to interpret it that way. But you would never know that unless the interpreter or the interpretee was to come and explain to you exactly what was the intention of the interpretation. Now, with this key individual that I'm talking about, the example, there was communication via WhatsApp, which again is another communication that you cannot bank on all the time, because sometimes somebody might text something with a different energy, but the energy that you've received it on is very different. So that's why I'm not really into the WhatsApp thing. I prefer to leave the voice notes because you can hear what I mean when I'm speaking. So anyway, this person now, they sent me a message and I thought it was rude. Okay, I didn't give them any reason to send me a message like that. There was no invitation for rudeness, but I ignored it the first time, and I've done this with many people. Okay, but you know, sometimes you say, you know something, they don't know what you do. Make them go on, because if me ever take the time to take you on, it's a problem for you and me and everybody else. So the best thing to do is just make them go along. Yeah? So me make them pass. And you know, me can't go through and me still give out the righteousness and the love, and me go through and, you know, boom, boom, boom. Them do it again. So me say, because they've got a saying where it says, 3rd time lucky. No. In my world, you get strike 1, you get strike 2, and you don't get a 3rd time, because you see that 3rd time could be the time to push you over the edge. This is also a message to women that are in abusive relationships and men that are in abusive relationships. If you know it's not working for you, come out of it. Don't wait for the 1st time and then the 2nd time and then the 3rd time somebody end up in jail, or somebody end up dead, or somebody end up in a hospital. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I've witnessed this myself. I haven't been a victim to abusive relationships. I've been blessed in that regard. I mean, yeah, I had a boyfriend once that tried to, you know, put him hand on me, but be with him, you know, and he knew that he could never put his hand on me again, you know, but I wasn't exposed to that. What I found in growing up, a lot of women and men that are subjective or a subject to abuse have been exposed to that in their childhood. So whether their mum used to get beaten or their father used to get beaten or abused, and they've been exposed to that, and hence why they think it's normality. Yeah, I was never exposed to that. You know, my mum is a very strong African warrioress, and there's no man that can come and deal with her in no way. I've always seen my mum handle her station. You know, and even when my mum and dad used to kind of have their little disagreements, my mum wasn't a woman where get back like she back down. You know, she's hold her ground. And more time my father would have said, "Chop, I can't bother with this number. I have to take on myself." More time my father would back down and walk her out, you know. So I don't know what that means. Okay, but I'm just sending a message, because a lot of the time we experience the same thing over and over again, and we accept it. And we have these things where we're saying, "Oh, I saw she steer," or I saw him steer. No, it's not. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So the message I'm sending today is this: I can be professional. I can be street. I can be ghetto. I can be uptown. I can be anything I need to be in the right capacity. But don't ever mistake my politeness for simpleness. And don't ever mistake my professionalism for she's not a ghetto girl. because I'm a ghetto girl, heart, blood, mind, and soul. And when I say that, all my real ghetto people will understand what that means. It doesn't mean that we're brawling and we don't know how to carry ourselves and we're not manageable. Ghetto people are the most respectable people on this planet. Ghetto people are the most cleanest people on the planet. When you get in a taxi in a Jamaica, the taxi is sweet, and the whole way I get the people. When I used to live in England, and I used to travel in the morning on a train, and the train used to be packed. All your nose in our next man's armpit, and the next man's elbow in our next woman's side. That's how it jam. I'm gonna tell you, say it rinky. The smell was absolutely awful, and it was something that I used to dread when it came to commuting, because you know you have to go to work. It's bad enough that you have to get up early. It's cold. It's raining. Sometimes it's all a snow, and you still have to go work. Not gas, but you still have to go make the money. And then when you get on the train now, the man's in the most expensive tailor-made suit, Italian croc shoes. You know, he's got Rolex watch standard, and he stinks. So things ain't always what they seem. You know, true, having a nice suit and look at Italian croc shoe, that don't mean nothing, because if you smell, brother, that is not cleanliness, and that's not clean. You understand? So the point of what I'm trying to make is not everything is what you see. Look deeper. Stop walking and judging people. It's really, really bad. And I see it every day, and I'm seeing it more and more and more. What's that? Donut? Popcorn? From where? From where you get it from? Boyfriend you? Where am they? Steel popcorn you give me? Don't want no popcorn there. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm just talking to a colleague there about some popcorn. Yeah. So, as I said, you know, I'm doing this today because I'm fed up. I'm fed up with people. I'm fed up with people working hard and really trying, and their fellow man just won't assist them. You know, I'm tired of having to ignore, you know, rude people. You know, some people ain't got no shame at all. And another reason I'm doing this post today, because somebody begged me our money, right? And me tell the person, I say, I'm not have it right now. Come in, have it right now, right? I'm not hear back from the person. I mean, I love that, because sometimes I don't have it, and sometimes me give my last, because I know say I don't need it. And the one look at time me tell you say me not have the money, me can't hear back from you like you say me I diss you. True, you see me take picture of Chronics and take picture of Protege if you say me and the man them I live. Me not live with them. Me not roll with them. So for them money is not my money. You understand? When you see me take picture with the Prime Minister, fee money is not my money. So true, you see me take a picture with them, and you see say me I work, you know me, so I live same place and I eat in the same place and we are driving at the same car. Okay, open your mind. See? So me tell you, say they can beg me the money. And I was honest, you know, I said to them, listen, I'm not getting the money till next week. You know, give me till next week, can, you know, the money not come through. Oh, no. Not even a yes, Empress, or all right, you know? Nothing at all, because them fees me, I diss them. That is disgusting. And this is why I'm starting to understand that when people do get more financially affluent, coming from a ghetto lifestyle, meaning, when I say ghetto lifestyle, you know, I don't mean anything negative about it, because I embrace my ghetto lifestyle. And what that means is that you have to watch your pocket. You understand? You can't just spend willingly. And the things that you would like to get, sometimes you cannot get it because you're not in that position to afford to buy these things. So you have to sacrifice and, you know, use alternatives and things like that. That's ghetto life. All right? We have to think about every movement that is ghetto life. When you live in rich life, you have to think about nothing, you just spend money like water. You understand? So because I've lived on both sides, you understand, I've experienced the rich life, I experienced the ghetto life, so I understand it. You understand? You cannot judge people, them man, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening, you know. So again, I'm saying that, you know, me tired of it. Me tired to see people work hard. Me tired. You want to come in? Come now. Me tired to see people work hard, and is I watch people not judge people through them save a look of money and buy a look of shoe for themselves, or them save a look of money and say, all right, I'm gonna go buy one 3-piece suit because they never own one yet. You can't eat on your brother and sister for that. It's disgusting. If you want these things, there's plenty out there where you can get it. Go look work, go also something, go sell something off for tree. Right? And go look shoe and look something where you hate your sister for. It's disgusting. I don't like it. So I have to communicate the things then. Yeah? And to anybody out there, this is a cleaning family as well. Don't come and beg me no money, and then when me turn around and tell you say I have it right now, you want to come diss me and tell me say I'm hype, I'm a rich, I'm a switch and all different type of thing. You don't know how I'm surviving and what I'm doing. But you, I look after my clothes them, yeah. And because I'm taking 2 pictures, 1 and 2, man, me and the man, I'm not share the same money and the same pocket. Me not have for them money. You understand? So now look on me and choose. You see me a picture with Chronixx and them man there, if you say the man that have worried, we not share the money. I one picture, me share with them and one day, that's it. I don't see them again. Yes, you know what I'm saying, sis? Yep. You know what I mean? People need to open up. You want to come and sit down? And this is Amoy, wonderful colleague. It's her last day today at Roots.
Hey guys.
And she's a wonderful singer as well. Look out for her. I'm sure she'll be coming out with some music in 2018. But yeah, I'm just talking to the people them and just you know, talking about the fact that people judge. You know, some people look into your lives and they judge, and just trying to kind of climb the ladder of success. I'm realizing why when people do come into money and do come into wealth, they isolate themselves. You know, they isolate themselves from people because people are just gravelicious with their eyes. You know, I'm just saying, I was just trying to share a story.
And not only with their eyes, with their intentions, because I don't have it all. I mean, you know, there are sometimes you're granted stuff and you have people around you who feel like they're your friends.
Yeah.
I've shared an experience. I've had a friend. I thought she was my friend. I got a pair of pants for Christmas, and then going into the new year, we had a disagreement because she wanted to do something. I didn't. She decided she was going to stop talking to me, and one evening she just went. My mom washed her stuff and she put it on the line, and going out there the following day to pick up the stuff, I realized that some clothing items of mine cut up. And they were the only things that were cut up on the line.
The girl cut up the clothes?
Yep.
Oh, what you say? Now look at that. And that's her friend. But me personally, my mom's joined. Hi, mom. How you doing? That's my mother. I personally feel that the word friend, I think we've got to research it. I think the word friend's a curse. Because anytime I call somebody a friend, it just went wrong. So I don't know about that. But my thing is, you know, you don't know people's story. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know how somebody got to work. You don't know how hard people have been working to get to where they are. You know, don't take this social media thing for gospel. You know, me taking a picture of somebody, it means nothing. It's just a picture, you know, and I've been working very hard to achieve the things I want to achieve. So I'm sending this out to the individual that they begged me the money. And you begged me the money, and I was honest with you. And I said to you, I don't have it right now. Yeah, right now things are very tight. And it's okay for things to be tight. And I don't feel shame that things are tight because I'm a human being. Do you understand? And if I tell you that things are tight, you must can say, all right, Empress, cool. Because every time you ask me, give you. So every time you ask me, give you. One time you tell me something, I have it. You want tell me, say me rich and me switch on.
Like you didn't make for mind them. Like
when me I work, me I mind you. That's not right. And this is why I'm doing a live broadcast, because it is an epidemic amongst our people. And as a giver, just like my mother, we're givers. We give. We give naturally and willingly, and we like to give. But there are many people out there that expect to be given. And we don't have to give you. We give you out of choice. We don't give you because we are obliged to. We give you because we feel good in giving you. We like the feeling that you get when you give. Natural.
Yep.
But you have some woolly people out there that might look you from head to toe. And then I say, you have something to give me. Give it to me. And that's the attitude that I don't like. Because you don't. Let me tell you something. See this morning? This morning, me walk the whole hill this morning, from the top right to the bottom. Enough people look at me and they judge me in how I dress and say, I'm an uptown girl. But them don't know how me I live. And them don't know saying how much uptown vehicle passed me this morning.
Not one drive.
Not one drive. Stop to say, boom, let me pick up the Empress and carry a work. You understand? So don't always look at people and judge. You know how long I've had this dress? What year are we in now? 2017. I think I've had this from like 2010. Or even before that. Like my clothes that you see me wear, I've had them for years. You can't judge people because they choose to preserve their things. Not true.
Yes, I get one. Wash and repeat.
Wash and repeat. So the message of today is this, is that what you put in, you will get out. And if you're idling and you're not doing anything with your time, it may seem like nothing ain't running for you. But nothing's going to run for you if you're looking at everybody else and you're not focusing on yourself.
And if you don't run for yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes if you have an extra dollar, give it to your brother and sister, because that dollar will come back to you. But what you mustn't do is, you see someone get up and go work every morning and they're working hard to achieve the thing. Then they might go school, they might go work, they're doing all different things, and you expect them to give you because you're not doing that in the daytime. That should be a crime. Shouldn't it?
It should be a crime.
It should be a crime that me, I forgot work. And then true, you see me work every day from 9 to 5. Every day I work, you know. And then Friday night when I come in and I walk the, you know, y'all beg me money. Because your fee said me get paid now. So what about you? So you never work the whole week too?
My advice to you, go sell some bag juice.
Or sell some guinea for half a tree.
Sell something. God no man.
Aki grow all year. Yeah,
Pick
you can
Aki.
pick Aki and go and go sell.
No people eat Aki.
And you know something? I rate the man that is prepared to go sell the phone card, is prepared to go wash 2 car, go sell 2 guinea, so he can have the freedom to be the man that he can be.
Or wipe windshield.
Why not? But then you have the man who stand up and I beg you, you know. And when you step past him, he might call it every name under the sun, because you're supposed to give him, because he's been sitting down there all day begging you. I don't like it. Another thing I don't like as well, and I'm talking about Jamaica now, yeah, is there's 2 things that have been bothering me, if I have to say, the past couple of months. And I've been praying to Jah every day to give me the means to change it. I'm tired of seeing my elderly aunties them and the elderly women them always carrying these heavy bags. You know, I saw a woman today, she was carrying a calagas on one hand. She had it in one hand with about 7 bags, you know. And she did on the phone. Just a walk so. I said, look on this soldier. I couldn't carry that.
You know what I saw? Speaking of which, I saw one that I was on the bus, but towards the back.
Yeah.
And an elderly lady was coming off the bus, and she had about 2 market bags.
Yeah.
And there was a schoolboy standing at the door, and he watched her. And somebody had to say, help her now.
Yes.
For him to even take one of the bags off the bus.
I don't understand that. And I think I spoke about it last week. But I was in Ochi, and I was walking behind this woman was frail. She was a big woman. She probably was hitting 80. She had 2 tin of paint, and these, I don't even know how they were so heavy that when I took the first one from her, I dip. I'm like, Lord God, what should I do? I carry them something out. But because I was walking past her, I have something in me that if I walked past her, I would have got lashings for that. So I had to stop and ask her for help.
Or guilt would have killed you.
It would have killed me with guilt. Yeah. So I said, Auntie, where you going? Yeah. And she said, she got bus park. Lord God, the bus park it far.
And she walk the bus park.
And she was walking very calmly. She wasn't under any strain. So I took the 2 paint from her and I gave her my little scandal bag that I was carrying. Yeah, Lord God, they say Rastafari. Why? When I carried the paint on my finger, they might cut it up. This piece I turned red. I'm gonna tell you, I had to exchange hands probably every 5 steps. And every other minute she was saying to me, come let me take it from him. I said, no, I'm gonna carry a bus park. I'm gonna reach at the bus park now. I'm gonna tell you, wait for reach. We reach at the bus park, but drop them. I have to sit down because all of that I tear out. Tense up. And I'm looking at this elderly woman. This one must have been hitting 80. And I'm saying to myself, now look at this. She walked, I think it must have been about, can I say half a mile? It's half a mile long. I think probably between I think about 1/4 mile.
I thought that's still
about 1,000 yards. because it was more than 500 yards, about 1,000 yards. Yeah. And she was walking very, very, very calmly. And it was hot. The heat that was beating on us was serious. And when I dropped off the plane at the taxi for her, I begged the taxi man to carry her go her yard. And the man looked at me like, my girl, $100 for turn off, you know. So if she have $100, carry her up. I looked at this man and I said to myself, look at this. This is your grandmother. You can see she's struggling. Surely don't you see that the blessings that you will get from just helping her to her door? But they don't pre them way there.
No,
they don't pre them way there. That's how I am.
I was told last night by my mom.
Yeah.
I'm by her house and she's like, the one thing that is like epidemic right now across the board in Jamaica is bad mind.
Yeah.
Like people will literally try
to stop you.
Even if you're not established, even if they see just a glimmer of what you can be, they'll do everything in their power just to stop you.
It's so true.
And I've seen it, you know. I lost friends because I passed CXE.
Wow.
I lost friends because I got 7 subjects.
Wow.
And that's
sad.
Me putting in the work, the nightly hours, everything just to make a good grade.
That's right.
I've lost friends because of that.
They was never your friends, sister. They was never your friends. You know what? The people around you, man.
And and those same people that I thought were my friends became the very same people who, if I come in late at night, I'm out the road, I wait just to say something bad or just to give a snide comment. Most evenings when I come from school, as tired as me be from training or whatever it is, they're there and them always having something negative to say. Before I even started doing G-Stat, the first thing somebody said to me that before me reach 16, me go breed. That was what was said.
They want you to do breed. Even though breeding is nothing wrong with breeding, but they're trying to put down, non-progression on you, really.
You're not gonna where you're gonna have pitney before you're 16.
Why? Is it because you had a lot of male friends?
When I just moved there, that was when I just moved there. I barely talked to anybody. Okay. So the notion was, I don't know anybody. And I am not the type of person to be all up in you if I don't know you. Right? I barely have friends. The people who talk to me are the people who, after saying that, me just need to your face always screw up, but it just feel like it is just hard for approach.
See, again, judging the book by the cover. Actually.
Yeah, they've always said that I've just looked like this unapproachable person, and it is when they've gotten to know me, they know that okay, I am just this person who has a plethora of emotions just going through her at one moment in time. I am just bubbly at times, and the only way you see me down is unless there's something really bothering me, True. So I was watching upstairs and I was like, yeah, because
watching what?
The video I was watching from upstairs.
Oh, really?
Tanya was watching.
Oh, right, okay. No, but true. See, I understand this thing, because I thought that people, you see a number there. So these people are...
Yeah, they're the ones who are watching.
Oh, right. Okay. So, hello, Damani Bless. Rise up yourself every time.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, sis. Rise up yourself and rise up my mother. Wagwan Mamzi. In the Babylon. Yes, we're just here, sharing our truths and just expressing and acknowledging. There's a lot of bad mind in Jamaica and around the world. It's not just Jamaica, you understand? But I think with Jamaica, I think what it is, I think there's this, as you said, I think there's a notion of people think you're going to bust and leave them. Or they think you're going to make it and forget and leave them behind. And I think this is where this bad mind comes from. But what I'm going to say to you is, let me tell you something. If you're not working, then you're going to get left straight. If you're not putting into yourself, you're going to get left. Up to you to put in the work.
Put in the man hours with your friend. You see them struggling, you're not putting in the man hours, you're not help them study, you're not people say, all right, you see her drop asleep over the book, you say take a 5 or you knock her, you say come, this is time for you to get crunching. Can't be a friend. You cannot be a friend like that. You have to put in the work with her. I've been there for friends. Me supposed to study and you study. I'm not do your subject, but me I help you study.
Yes, I'm motivated to go on.
You feel like you cannot. You feel like you cannot go on. You feel like, all right, this is it. I just got stop with that subject here. And you have people behind you saying, look here, this is what it is. You already paid for it. It don't make sense. You pay for it and you fail it.
Yeah, that's right.
Money not come so easy. It's not like you can go in your backyard and pick off money off of one tree.
True.
You have to have that. And if you're not that friend, then you were never a friend at all. You can't be a friend and the first thing you say to your friend is, if she feel like she don't want to study no more, all right, then rest off. Take a break. Stop study for today.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not encouragement.
That's not encouragement. I mean, you have a goal to achieve. Ensure she get there. Ensure she get there. And I learned motivation, and I learned to have friendship just by even training. I had tracks training at Queens, and you had times where coach was just pushing you through everything. You just done run 5 laps and him say take a 2-minute break and you're gonna have to run the next 5. So that's like 10 laps back to back. And
a good fitness day.
You have friends and sometimes you just feel like, all right, this is right, so I'm gonna lay down on the field, I'm not get up. And you have people, you have teammates who come and say, look here now, me and you do the same 10 with a pan par
and then push you
and them roll your arm and you and them run around the field. And they're there with you from your start training to the end of the training sessions. You guys are the first one to hit the field. You guys are the last ones to leave.
The field,
you know, those are friends. You build friendships through serious situations. And if you're not there for a friend, then you are never a friend.
True. Actually, me personally, me never had friends still. I have to say lately I'm starting to, I don't really like to call them friends. What? You're gone? Oh. Lately I have to say that I am building. You gone?
Yeah.
Oh, bye. 1 second, guys. I've got to say bye. It's her last day today.
Oh, bye,
bye there. You've been so nice. But we'll speak, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, have fun.
Same to you.
All right, so thanks, Amaya, for that. That was a wonderful contribution. She's going now. She's leaving Roots today. Yeah, so, you know, I think she made some really good points there. In that, I mean, I don't like the word friend. I don't like the word friend at all. But I think she made some really good points that you've got friends that will motivate you and encourage you, and you've got friends that actually want you to fail because they're failing as well, and it makes them feel comfortable when they fail, you know? As I was saying, I don't really have much friends. My friends are very limited. I mean, I've got a friend in Sweden. I've got one friend in England. The rest of them are like my family. I don't really have much friends. And most of what I would call my really tight acquaintances are men. I have to say, since coming to Jamaica, the female side of support and the Empress Circle is building. I've met some wonderful empresses, and I'm talking about like as a lineage. I'm talking like Yaza. I'm talking Leela IK, Double K, you know, Tough Like Iron. These are really, really serious empresses, you know, and I feel blessed to have met them and do work with them and just kind of, you know, connect with them on a social basis. And Bird's Eye, how could I forget? And many more that I probably haven't mentioned. And I feel grateful for that because in England, I didn't really have that. I had girlfriends, which for me is very different from Empress Circle. Girlfriends are girls that you meet up and go for drinks with and talk about men and talk about not having money and just, you know, artificial stuff. Yeah. When you really need a girlfriend, she's not really there for you because she's either got her own man problem and her own issues that she's got to be focusing on. So I wasn't able to build that kind of relationship with females in England. But you know, my aunties and, you know, mom and my cousins, they were more there as girlfriends or friends, so to speak. I don't really have girlfriends here. I try to just keep myself to myself. See, when it comes to business and work, then yes, I will socialize and all the rest of it. Personally, me not really ruin nobody. I stick to me and myself rule and Empress many right here. So yeah, and sometimes I walk with Bob Marley, and I eat that. But me, not really, because people are funny. You know, somebody will be with you today and change tomorrow because they thought that the person you was yesterday, you'll be the same tomorrow. But what people don't understand is that a caterpillar does and will turn into a butterfly. And there's nothing that you can do to change that caterpillar from evolving into the butterfly. But what you will know is that the caterpillar will eventually change into the butterfly. And right now, I feel like I'm coming out of my cocoon. I feel like I was a caterpillar for a long time. And I rise up Jamaica, and I love Jamaica for helping me to recognize I for who I really am and what I really am. And I'm not perfect. I've got a lot of work to do. And sometimes I'm behind on deadlines and things like that, and my clients, they really bear with me, and it's not easy, you know. Sometimes I don't feel supported. Sometimes I feel like it's just me carrying a lot of ideas and trying to implement a lot of dreams and to support a lot of people that aren't really supporting me, but because they like the way I support them, they continue to be around me. And I see you, I see who you are, you know. It doesn't mean that I'm going to make you know that, you know. But what I would say is that no one and nothing can change what I am. When I was living in England, that nearly happened. That nearly happened to the point where I was beginning to conform to my environment. In that I was becoming like the people around me, and that wasn't who I was naturally. You know, yes, naturally I'm a workaholic. Naturally I want to help. Naturally I want to give. These are my natural attributes. But I was beginning to pick up attributes that wasn't of myself. It was of the environment. And, you know, for me, moving to Jamaica, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but it's so real and it's so serious about your environment that since I came to Jamaica, I'm able to embrace everything that is really me, that is who I really am. And I honestly believe that that is a major part of your destiny. I believe it's a major part of you being the best that you can be, because you see, if you're in an environment that you can't just be free, and when I say free, don't take the word free as a cliche. When I say the word free, I mean you're free in every aspect of your life, not just one aspect, like every aspect. There's only one aspect of my life right now that I'm working to be free in, and that's financial affluence. And that is through assets and, you know, owning property and assets. Okay, that's what I'm aiming for now. But in every other area in my life, I'm free, you know. One area in my life which I would say that sometimes I do panic about is my love life. And that is because I'm yet to meet a king man that is compatible with me, really. I'm not going to get into all the details, but that is compatible. And no disrespect, but there's a lot of weak brothers, you know, stepping to the sister. And I rate them. I rate them because, you know, you had the courage to step brother, but, you know, I need a king. You know, I'm looking for a king man. I'm looking for a man that understands that it's all in the mind. I'm looking for a man that understands his role as a man. I'm not looking for a man to come and live off me and to come and suck me for all the energy that I've got, just because I've got it to give. You know, I'm looking for a gentleman. I'm looking for a man that can sweep me off my feet. And when I say sweep me off my feet, I'm talking going back to the old school now. You know, when my grandfather had to court my grandmother, and, you know, it was serious business. It wasn't a joke, you know. Nowadays, you've got brothers saying, oh, I like you, and that's it. You know, that's it. That's his declaration to his commitment to you. And it's just like, it's not good enough. So, I mean, I'm mentioning that because it's also something else I want to talk about. I'm seeing a lot of strong women, and they're on their own. And I think that says a lot about our men, because why don't you want a strong woman? And the thing about it is, it's your duty for you to step in before we become the man. You know, I've been in relationships in the past where I know I've been more masculine than the man that I've been with, and that isn't attractive. That isn't attractive at all. And what men need to understand as well with that, it's not the whole era of Destiny's Child where, you know, it's independent lady, and, you know, it's not about that. What you guys need to understand is that how this independent woman came about is because you weren't there. Simple as that. And yes, you know, we can go into the whole psychological and philosophy into it, that it was in the DNA, and, you know, you were traumatized because of Willie Lynch syndrome, and we can go into it all day, every day. But the fact of the matter is this: you've got too much women out there carrying the load. And we've been doing it, and we're still doing it. And you've got women like my mother that had to do things that maybe she didn't want to do. You've got women out there that are every day doing things that they don't particularly want to do, but they have to survive. And when I say doing things that they don't want to do, I don't mean anything untoward or anything illegal. I just mean by maybe going to school and working, and probably working 2 jobs, and probably having to sacrifice your child and leaving your child at home, and just things that you probably don't want to do, but you have to do it because it's like, what other option have you got? Because if you rely on the man of the house, everybody would sink. And that is sad. That is sad that I can say that in this day and age, with all this knowledge about our history and who we are, and especially looking towards Africa as well. I mean, we go towards Africa, yes, there's schisms with regards to relationships in Africa, but the foundation is there. And the foundation is that the man is the hunter and the gatherer, and the woman is the nurturer. And yes, if the woman wants to go and hunt and gather, yes, but within reason. And she cannot hunt and gather more than her husband hunts and gathers, because then it's going to take the role from the husband. Surely this simple mathematics equation is what makes things work. When we move into the Western world now, which heightens the woman in the workplace and brings down the man in the workplace, but yet so doesn't heighten the salary that the woman gets, not at all. And why is that? Because even within the system of the westernized society, they're still trying to keep the balance of the male and the female. So yeah, you've got women out there being executives now, you know, they're owning companies, they're CEOs, which is fantastic. And the reason why I say it's fantastic, because the world will only get better once we are back in the ruling position. As long as men are ruling the world will always be the way it is. Once women come back in and rule like how we used to do in Egypt, where we used to rule dynasties for years, you know, for centuries, in harmony and the accord of justice and righteousness amongst all people and patrons and entities, then life will always be the way it is now. Because men battle with ego. And it's all the women as well, but even more so with men. I remember the man, even just like dogs, I mean, dogs will go and urinate on a piece of land just to tell you that that's his land. Men do the same thing, just not in the same action. You know, it's, for example, if, you know, you might see an ex-boyfriend. This is females now. You see ex-boyfriend and you might be talking to a new brother. The chemistry between those two men, they don't have to talk to know that the ex-man used to be you. Men have an unspoken language that they communicate with one another. We also have the same thing with men, you know. This is what I'm talking about. So it's a message to the man them to don't get on women that decide to kind of get things done. The only reason why we as women do what we want to do, or we do what we have to do, is because you ain't doing it. Because if you were doing it, brother, then we wouldn't have to do it. And I'm saying this out there to the dads as well. There's enough dads out there, especially coming from my generation, that they weren't around. They were part-time daddies. And our mothers did all the work. you know. And I feel like a lot of the time we take for granted what mothers can do because they just do it anyway, and because I think mothers make it look very easy in how they raise us, they look after us, they nurture us and provide for us, that men just think, the mother will deal with it. It's disgusting. You know, it's really disgusting. So I want to rise up all my women out there that are holding it down and doing their thing. I know that you will find your partner in due time. Being a strong woman in this day and age is not easy. I can say it for myself. Men are easily intimidated. Well, for me, boys are easily intimidated by a strong woman. But a real man would never be intimidated by a strong woman, because surely a real man will want that. You know, a real man will want a strong, firm woman that cannot be bulldozed over. And, you know, cannot be what's the right word, misled by illusion, you know. So even though, I mean, we've been talking now for about 50 minutes, I didn't mean to be talking for so long, but I just really wanted to say some things. And again, just going back to the original point of what this take my hair out now because it's all right, of what this original post was about. The original post was about people. Stop judging people. Okay, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know who's got a link. You don't know if my auntie do my ear. You don't know if I have one auntie who sell slipper. You don't know if my mother send me one dress from foreign. You don't know anything. So don't judge. Because in judging, you miss your own blessing. You know, help your brother and sister. Another thing I mentioned today on the radio early on today was that, I mean, I live on a hill in Jamaica, in Kingston, and I mean, we live way up on the top of the mountain, right? And you can't really get drive to go up there, so you have to walk down like at least half of the mountain before you can get drive. And like two sides of the mountain, now you have one side of the mountain we can get drive to go right back into the city, and then the next side of the mountain now you don't really get drive. But I had to walk that side this morning, and me tell you, say me walk the whole of the hill. And my boss had wicked sweat. The wickedest thing, yeah. The sweat is good. The sweat is very, very good for you. And I'm sure you can see it in my beautiful skin. It's good for my health, you know. So I never complain about the walking, and I love it. And I love to be in much nature as well. So it's always good. But the point of what I'm making is that I walked the hill this morning. I'm going to tell you, so the amount of big Benz and Honda Superior vehicle and all different type of Suzuki vehicle and what you call them, SUV car will pass me empty this morning, and them kids say I work, me I go. I thought to myself, what a wicked world we live in. And when I'm driving, I don't pass a soul. The only time that I might not pick up people is night time. At night time, you know, ooh, I walk up and down at the end of the street. So night time, I might be a bit more cautious. But in the daytime, if I see that people are coming down the hill and I work them, I'm going to collect them and tell them, give them a ride. So that's the next thing I don't really understand. Yeah. But I just want to rise that everybody tuned in and just know that life is what you make it. I've always said this. And I try my best to make my life the best that I can make it, because no one's going to give it to you. And especially when you're beautiful and you're attractive and you're sexy and you're intelligent and you're articulate and you're a people's person, people will fight against you because they just see that everything she touches turns to gold. But what they don't see is that half of the time you're fighting against a resistance. So you only see the end result, but you didn't see what was going on behind the scenes before that end result. You know, again, I want to send a message out to people that are studying people that are working hard for them thing. You cannot beg people for working hard for them thing, and then when them turn around and tell you say they don't have it to give you right now, you want to carry feelings. I think that's really bad. And I don't rate no one. You could be my blood, you could be my father. I don't rate nobody but have them kind of energy there. It's disgusting. And especially coming from persons that know I and I. Anyone will know I and I know that I am a giver. And what's the right word? I love can classify with me, I tell you say. To give is who and what I am. That's the first thought that comes to me, is to give. Sometimes I have to retract that thought of giving, even when it comes to business. Because if I had it my way, I wouldn't charge nobody nothing for nothing. I would just give everybody free service product. Because I know it's not just about the money, it's about the benefit that it's bringing to the individual. But in the world that we're living in, I can't afford to do that. Because no one ain't looking out for me to make sure me eat at their time. And nobody now look out for me when my shoe heel bust, so me can get our next $2,000 or our next $5,000 for go buy our next shoe. Nobody's not doing that for me. So this is why we are compelled to charge for products and services in areas that we don't really want to charge. But if I had it my way, and I asked the universe every day to bless me with the means, I would take care of everything. I would take care of everything, because I got my brothers and sisters sleeping on the street and I don't like it. I got my uncles and my aunties out there begging and I don't like it. And there's nobody out there, well, I'm not saying there's nobody out there, because there's people out there donating every day. Whether they're cooking our food for them, or they might give them look up wars and things. There's somebody somewhere always helping out the less fortunate. And that is what we're supposed to be doing as Rastafari. You know, once we get into that position to assist our fellow brother and sister, you must take that as a duty. You don't just eye upon them and look down on your heel and look down at them, you know, scurrying around. They don't know what they do. So just like the wonderful Michelle Obama says, we must use our education, whether it is, you know, system education or just self-made education, to benefit those that are less fortunate. Because we all know that less fortune comes to the lack of what? Education. And that's all I'm trying to say. So people that really know me know what I'm talking about. Okay, I can't take this taker life. And I'm not into the taking. You must learn to give. And you must give willingly. And stop judging people will give you. You don't know when they might give you. You don't know if them even have it for you. You know how much time you give people my last? Because I don't need it. But I could have easily tell you no, because it's my last. Just like people tell me all the while. But me still give them. Because I know that I am connected to the Most High. And anything I need, I get it. I might not get it how I want to get it, but I get it. If I know I need to move, and for example, I don't have no money, the Most High tell me, daughter, go on and do road. And when we get on the road, I get a drive to take me exactly where I want to go, and I'm on time. And no money and no man has helped with that other than my connection with the Most High. So me can't live out the Most High, because it's me and the Most High I tried more time. And it's the Most High that has got me to navigate this world of madness and destruction and bad mind and envy and jealousy, when all one is trying to do is spread love and peace. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I just want to rise up Roots FM as well, because, you know, since joining the team here, it's nice to be amongst persons that don't always have money as a forethought. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to be around people that want to help someone else before they make a red buck. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like money, you know. Me love nice things. And when me have money, me spend money red. You know, that's not one of my weaknesses. You know what I mean? But I don't, how can I put it? I don't worship money. You know, some people worship money and this is why they never have it. But I don't worship money, I generate it. Some days you have it, some days you don't. But what you do is you make sure that when you do have it, you work towards it. The days that you don't have it, you can still move around, provide a service, and you can still survive. Simple as that. Yeah. I've really got much else to say, just other than please try and not judge a brother and sister. Even like there's a lot of people that judge like celebrities, if that's what you call them, celebrities, like, you know, your Jay-Z's, your Usher, you know, whoever, these people that are always in the magazines and whatever, Rihanna's, Beyonce's, you know what I'm talking about. And these people are just people. These people too have a story. Do you understand? These people too came from somewhere. Nobody was born in the big mansion. There's a small handful of us that thereafter slavery was born in big mansions. Unless you're coming from Africa, because Africa, you're living like kings and queens in a way. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they don't show you that on television, but you are. You go to Africa and say they're living in Africa. It's not no joke thing out there. They're living like kings and queens. And now that the Afrobeat is taking over the world, it's just, you know, just heightened back up Africa again. And every one of us know that Africa is the final destination. It doesn't matter about the color of your skin, because even the white man's going to Africa. For a long time, they've been down there. The China man's down there. The Indian man's down there. Everyone's down there because they know that Africa is a final destination for all of humanity. Okay? Me personally, me never really deal with color and all them things there. Because me have white friend, China friend, and different type of friend. Indian friend, I have Indian family, I have white family, I have all different type of people, and I love the whole of them. See? It's only the spirit that I look for. You know, them look evil spirit and look a bad mind vibes. You know, you can't, the spirit doesn't change because of the color of your skin. You know, I've met some excellent, you know, white people. I've met some excellent Chinese and some Asian people. I've met some excellent what you call it, Australian and white people, well, Aborigine. You know, it doesn't matter where you come from. And if you are fortunate enough to travel, and you know, well, you can travel just with social media. I mean, you can travel all over the world by not even going anywhere now. But I was fortunate enough, bless my mother, she enabled for me to travel from a very young age. You know, and traveling from a young age opened my eyes to know that there was more to this world than what I was being shown in England. And that there was humanity, and your brother and your neighbor did care about you. And I know I always talk about this story, but I never forget when I first went to the Gambia. I think me and my sister was about 8, and I just couldn't understand why we didn't live like that. And I couldn't understand why we left. I'll never forget asking my mum, like, why did we leave? Why did we come back here? It baffled me for years. Sometimes I say it traumatized me because because I had to leave. I had to leave and get back to that. You know, because we were amongst the animals. You know, we were playing with the chickens and the rabbits, and the goats were just running freely, and the sun was beating, and you know, people would say hello and good morning to you and good night. And if you were walking on the road and you didn't have a torch, somebody would come and shine a torch. And I thought, well, this is family, man. And I was young. I was 8 years old. And at that young age, for me, I recognized that there was something wrong with the lack of humanity in England. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because it does exist. You've got some wonderful people that live there. You know, and this is what keeps the world go around, because we all the good people can't be in the same place. You know, we have to be spread it out amongst, you know, the wicked and the evil and all the rest of it to keep the balance, isn't it? So, so I'm not dissing England, and I don't want anyone to think that I diss England, because England is a part of me. You know, and I love England for showing me what it showed me, for giving me the work ethic, the skills, that I've been able to gather while I was there. And I'm not this England, you know, I'm not this England, but I do want to make it a point that the environment did not benefit I, and the environment did not help I to elevate to the best that I could be. And that's the only really thing I've got to say about England. And that the climate and the humanity level was too low for me to adapt to. That was it. But other than that, I rate England because England has created a lot of, you know, good soldiers, in the fact that we are able to see the effects of slavery and the detriment that it did to our people. And as you know, I don't like to talk about slavery, because I feel like it's just this whole concept that was planted to us and we've just given life to it. I feel that with the invasion that took place, with the invasion of our people, we know who we are. You know, they know who we are. So I don't really understand this whole talk about slavery and this whole repatriation thing. I know a lot of people be like, I wish I thought about, you know about repatriation. But my thing is, why do we need to repatriate when we know the owner? You know, we know the person that stole from the owner. We know who stole. So to repatriate, for me, how can we repatriate from, we own everywhere, we're supposed to be everywhere. You know, we live everywhere. You know, so I don't really, the whole repatriation thing and the slavery thing, I don't really have much comment on it. And so much people keep asking me about the slavery and repatriation, and if I talk, I might open up a can of worms, because me not in none of that. All I'm interested in is my people to educate themselves and put themselves in a position where we can fund ourselves, we can govern ourselves, and we can love ourselves again. All this repatriation and all these things, that don't mean nothing to me. For me, that is a diversion. While you're talking about repatriate, we still got young children, young black children that want to be white, and young white children that want to be black. And for me, there's a confusion in that. So until that has been rectified, then we can start talking about repatriation. But for me, repatriation don't make no sense. And I know I probably offended. I don't mean to offend anybody that is working on repatriation. I don't mean to offend anybody that is putting their power and their energy into it. It's just that my personal opinion, upon which I'm entitled, is that for me, it's all a waste of energy. And the reason why I'm saying that, because studying in England, we were taught in school exactly what went down. Everything is out there and it's documented. So all it is to go to the thieves. Simple. Because they don't possess any ownership for anything that they possess. And that's the end of the argument. So all it is just give us back what you know is ours, and we can just live. But if the thief don't want to give back to the owner, and the thief is prepared to create some serious risks regards to violence and war, because they don't want to return back what is not rightfully theirs, then that's a whole nother argument, isn't it? But what I'm not going to do is give energy into something that my people are not benefiting from. I don't see any of my people benefiting from this whole repatriation talk. I don't see it. So I can't comprehend it. I just see a lot of meetings taking place, a lot of marching, and I just see my people in the same position. We're still getting killed in England. We're still getting killed in America. Police are still abusing us. We're still getting swindled in the workplace. You know, these things are still going on. You know, our color of our skin is still a factor with regards to certain transactions that we do within commerce. So until those things are at balance, then I don't really know what this whole talk about repatriation is, because we know what land is ours and we know what belongs to us and we know what is ours. So why don't we just give it back? Just give back our things. The whole of the things them that's in the Vatican, in the Pope, with them have the whole of the things them down the stairs in the corridor. Just give us back our things. Why are we still talking about it? We know exactly where they're being held. We know who took them. So we take the time to have these big long meetings to talk about who stole this and what year the Spanish came and what year the French went and what year the English come. But yet still nobody's going to the French and the Spanish and the English to say, hey, can we get back what you took, please? What's all the argument about? I don't know. So if you want to use your time to have meetings, marches and rallies, talk about the same thing every week and nothing changes, not even for you, then that's your business. But I ain't got time for that. So if everyone want to judge I and I for saying what I'm saying, then judge me. What we can do. But I'm telling you straight, this repatriation thing, I don't want no one bringing no repatriation talk to me. Because people think, Roots Empress and she depend Roots of fame man, you know, she go on good and repatriation now. See, go to the French man and the China, what you call them, the Spanish man and the English man, we tell it in a feed them history book what they do. Go back to them and them can give what them owe we. Simple as that. I am focusing on the younger generation. I am trying to show the younger generation, as what Marcus Garvey showed us, that we can be self-reliant. And through self-reliance comes self-governance, comes self-love, comes unity. Sympathy. So all the complication, hey man, all the complication and the whole heap of chatting and the whole heap of meeting and the whole heap of resources to walk up and down and march and talk about the white man and the police and all these things that we continue to allow to happen every day is a waste of my time. So I am sending a message out to all I know. If you say you can come to me about repatriation, I don't want to know nothing about it. because we know who exactly took what, and we know exactly where we come from, so we know exactly where we need to go. But what we can't do is keep talking. No one's putting in nothing into the UN. No one's putting in nothing into the Caribbean Court. So you guys know how the system works. You know they built this whole arena called law to block us from doing this stuff. That's why we have a duty to learn. So I don't want no one coming to me about no repatriation. I'm talking nothing about no repatriation, because I know where I've got to. I know where my home is. Okay, my home is anywhere that is tropic. Anywhere where the sun, the climate feeds the land, and the land feeds the people is home for me. Simple as that. So if you want to call it America, or you want to call it Asia, or you want to call it Australia, or you want to call it South America or the Caribbean, that's my home. Okay, I know that anywhere that is below a climate which the climate does not feed the land in order to feed the people, that's not my place of home. And that's the end of the story. I know that what I need to do as an African daughter, as a Rastafari daughter, and as a human being, and as a goddess, is to carry on the legacy of my people, and to ensure that my younger brother and sister knows that anything they want, them can achieve in their mind. And for know that this thing called fear is just an idea. You have to eliminate the fear. A lot of people are living off fear. You understand? So those are my views when it comes to this whole repatriation thing. Me no want nobody come talk to me about repatriation, because I see a lot of people want to be gravitating on me with this repatriation thing, and no. I am 35 years old, and I've been hearing about repatriation since I was 18, or even before that, and I don't see no change. So I'm not interested in talking about repatriation. All I'm interested in is for my brother and sister to know that you see these people here, Empress Menin, Empress Selassie, King Solomon, King David, this is the blood in which we are coming from. Okay, and anything you want in life, you can achieve it. You're coming from greatness, so heading to greatness is your destiny. Me no want to talk about when them beat me and rob me and kill my auntie and kill my sister and all them something there, because that is a trauma in my brain. And what that does then, it then activates the violence in me to want to get revenge for that. That's why I certain film, I watch them Roots and Uncle Tom and all them film there. I've seen them, and I think it's imperative for you to watch it, you know, as an indigenous being, but I don't sit down and watch them every weekend and mad myself and fill myself with all this anger. Half of those people that did and invaded on our people, they're not even alive today. Yes, their offspring is alive. So what are you going to do? You're going to condemn their offspring for what they did? Their judgment is already on them. It's not your concern. Their judgment is already on them. The best that you can do is to help your offspring. The best that you can do is to tap into yourself. Simple thing. And I've been talking for some time now, so I'm gonna wrap up. I want to cut this and start another one because I want to talk about something else. Yeah, I want to realize that everybody that's tuned in, I know that this is something I'm going to try and do on a regular basis because people are demanding to hear what I gotta say. So I'm going to try my best. Yeah, but there's a proverb I want to share. Comes from Senegal, which is West Gambia. It's West Africa, just off Gambia, where my mother was born. It says that the opportunities that the Most High sends to us does not fall upon the man that is asleep, but falls upon the man that is awake. So if you are not awake, you're not going to hear certain opportunity and see certain thing. If you are asleep, then you're going to miss your opportunities. You're not going to hear the things that you need to hear. But do not hate on your brother and sister. When I say hate, because everybody recognizes the word hate, yeah. So don't envy and don't be jealous of your brother and sister when they choose to listen to the message or they choose to seize the opportunity. Also, another thing I like to say is, trust the unknown, because the unknown is scary. And when I say scary, it's scary because we have a human condition of wanting to know the answer, and that comes by this whole English doctrine of why. But why does it do that? And where does it come from? And how? It's very English. You know, Africans don't have all these questions. Jamaicans don't answer a lot of questions. And you know, it's just I say it go. It is what it is. You know, there's certain things in nature that is just the way it is. You can't eat it before it's time. You can't plant it during moonshine. There's just certain things that is just the way it is. There is no why. But coming from a place like England and coming from the doctrines and the literatures that you were taught there, everything is why. They want to know an answer for everything. And then you adapt that condition where you want to know an answer for everything. I remember my mum used to say to me that, it used to drive me absolutely crazy. My mum used to say to me, "Why has a long tail?" I used to say, what does that mean? I always said, what does that mean, Mum? And she used to laugh and say that why has a long tail. And I have to say, I didn't really understand what that meant until probably recent years. Yeah. And it's true, why does have a very long tail. And, you know, I think sometimes we as human beings, we get caught up in the whys and the whats and the hows, and, you know, instead of just, it just is, you know. I have to say that lately, and I have to say very lately, I'm observing the way I move with my time. You know, very fast, like, you know, I'm always like that because my brain moves very quickly. So half of the time I'm moving at the same pace as my brain. And I've just observed that I need to slow down, like really slow down. But sometimes when you slow down, you miss stuff. So that's why I kind of always keep my pace up. But as I'm going into maturity, I'm realizing that, you know, just take it down a notch, take it down a pace or two, and just see what happens. And have faith that everything's on time. You know, so yeah, that's all I've really got to say today. And again, just want to send that message to people that you know, they see you going on with things, and you know, they see have you look at the haircut. Nobody don't know, say I beg the haircut, and I beg the nails. But yeah, judge me, I feel like I have money. I'm gonna have it, not yet anyway. And when I do have it, trust me, you will know about it. So when you see your brother and your sister working hard, and you say, boy, you know, say me short of fear, I mean, I look at lunch, and just know, say them I look at lunch too, and sometimes I'm short of fear too. Yeah? All right, bless up every time. Here, Wayne.